Let's have the discussion. So Obama, I guess he's on a phone call with his alumni association. I didn't know that was a thing, and he spoke about the quarantine protests, and I wanted to read this to you. This is one of those things that really defines the coronavirus epidemic, just like the death of that police officer in Florida that I made a video about, and just like Trump's comments about in disinfectant shots and shooting UV light in the body. And then now I'm hearing he said something about wood varnish or some kind of wood cleaner, furniture cleaner. I'm sorry. I want to read to you what he said, so there'll be no questions, and I'm going to speak about it. So Obama harshly criticized Trump's handling of the pandemic as a, quote, absolute chaotic disaster during a conversation with ex-members of his administration. Quote, what we're fighting against is these long-term trends in which being selfish, being tribal, being divided, and seeing others as an enemy, that has become a stronger impulse in American life. And by the way, we're seeing that internationally as well. It's part of the reason why the response to this global crisis has been so anemic and spotty. It would have been bad, even with the best of governments. It has been an absolute chaotic disaster when the mindset of what's in it for me, and to heck with everyone else, when that mindset is operationalized in the government. Okay, let's get to it. I agree with him completely. We speak often about how I didn't like Obama. There's a lot of things Obama did I thought was absolute shit. He didn't close Guantanamo Bay. He continued the wars. He quadrupled the drone strikes. He took down Muammar Gaddafi. If black people really want to be pro-black, they would have protested that. They did not. Here you had an African leader trying to unite Africa under their own currency and getting off of the French franc. And so you murder him. Not only do you murder him, you have him raped with a knife. And black folks just, see, that's why I'm not fighting for just a state with nothing but black people running it. Because I realize that when black people get their little ring or they get a little black puppet somewhere, they shut up and they go along with the program. I realize that now. Even if Obama was like Putin and he stayed in there for 20 years, black people aren't going to be like, okay, let's hold him to the grindstone. No! Black people are going to say, that's my guy. And anybody that questions Obama, you're a racist. Even if it's a white person like Tim Wise or someone on Majority Report or Michael Brooks, who is a comrade, who really does care about the struggle, black folks are going to say, no, that's my black president. I'm not holding him accountable. Boo-hoo. I'm going to let him run wild. And you see what happens. You get a Trump. That's why I don't want Biden to get in office. I just feel like that when black people when they reach up and grab the brass ring, what happens is we just sit back and do nothing. And progressives did nothing for 8 years. But people talk about how Obama was a legitimate president. And I've spoken about this before, how it pisses me off that the only thing they're angry about with Trump is his arrogance. Like they don't get it that the danger with Trump is that Trump will destroy the government. You don't have a president. You don't have a federal government. You have a bomb thrower. You have someone who wants to wreck the federal government and wreck all of the public services that we've had for a long time. That's the danger. It isn't about Trump calling somebody Pocahontas. It isn't about shithole countries. It isn't about other comments he cursed or disrespected press. It isn't about any of that. It's about Trump destroying the rule of law. You understand that? It's about Trump getting all these young federal judges and federal attorneys in there to fuck up the progress, the progressive movement for decades. That's the danger. That's the danger. Is him fucking with norms. It isn't the dumb comments just show the world that they're dealing with a person who's not operating with a loaded dick. Like the comments would be like someone running around with no clothes on. We know that's not Will. We know if someone's running on the street right now with no clothes on, we would know, hey, that guy's something's wrong there. That's not normal behavior, right? But you don't have to be running around with no clothes on to be mentally ill. That's just a visual thing that even someone that has no degree in psychology would know, hey, that's abnormal behavior, right? We often say that. We often say that that's the thing about Trump, that we don't like this. But I will say this. Obama's comments are correct. And they remind you of I'm not sitting up here with this nostalgia of Obama. There's no posters on my wall of Obama, okay? But I will say you had a functioning government. I will say Obama, I think, was a global president. I think that Obama believed in those world partnerships you need to solve problems that are necessary to solve problems. I will say that I think that when you have those global partnerships and you hit a snag, I think that you're better able to get things moving. You're better able to solve problems than when you've got a bomb thrower in the White House who in May is still calling this thing a flu or the silent enemy. No, it's coronavirus. It's not silent enemy. It's a virus. It's killing people. I hate euphemisms. I hate that shit. He's still doing this. And all that does is it downplays it. That it's just some little, that's what it is. Him not wearing a mask, all of this. This is all indicative of a person who is not, they're not ready for this. Trump wasn't ready for this. He's not ready for this. He's just not, I'm on Obama's side. And I don't want to knock him on this video because I agree with everything in there. I agree with all the comments he made there. I think that it comes from this idea of a narcissistic state white people have, that I don't care about anybody else. I don't care. I think it's my duty to run around and see and watch what what blacks and Hispanics are up to, even when it has nothing to do with me. It comes from that narcissistic mindset that the whole world is mine. I was reading a comment on Reddit that was talking about how we're watching black people protest another murder of a black man by white supremacists, vigilantes, the brother in Brunswick County, Georgia, and white people are protesting not being able to get a haircut. And I think that sums up the statement I wish to make in this video very, very clearly. It's that narcissistic element, as well as this sense of aggrievement by the Caucasian that every disaster we have happen, they're ready to go out there with the guns. They're ready to lock and load. Even when it's a pandemic and it has nothing to do with guns. And people will say it's conspiracy theory. That's a problem, yes. But I think that all that comes from a lack of leadership. I met a guy, I was in Colombia, I believe, and I had to get the paperwork signed. He was like, "You on his back?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He was telling me that I guess some people didn't want the paper back. And I didn't say nothing. We're outside. The wind's blowing. There's no risk of me getting it. I'm not standing beside him. No risk of me getting it. The disease isn't magic. You don't jump from, and I didn't say nothing because I realized that that's the Southern mentality. They've never sat down and looked at what this is, what the CDC says it is, even though they're wrong on a lot of things. They never sat down and looked at this stuff. They're just going off what Trump says and what right-wing media says. And so they don't even really know what it does. And when you're a redneck, you don't research what the government says it is. You don't care. You think someone's being soft by wearing a mask. You weren't washing your hands before the crisis. Why would you start washing your hands now? You think that's what being a man is all about, and getting sick is all about being manly. When you're talking about ingrained sense of anti-intellectualism, and I can see that from a mile away down here. When I go outside of the cities, and even sometimes in Charlotte, I see that. I can smell stupid on these niggas. I can smell stupid on these rednecks. I can smell it. I can smell it from 100 feet away. I can look at this is an idiot. It's a dumbass. And they want to prove to you how fucking stupid they are. Trump has taken that and weaponized it. He has weaponized the stupidity to where that's nationalism. And this sense of white aggrievement that somehow the government's taking something from them and they're in trouble. And I mean, they're so fucking stupid. Because what gets me is if white people were smart, they would bring in all kind of groups. But from the get-go, we're watching blackface content. We had blackface contests, the Nazi shit, the Klan flag. We had a guy in California go into a store with a Klan mask on. Yeah, with a Klan mask on. You've watched all the racism. I mean, from day one, they're not even pretending to bring us. And then they'll be like, "Well, that's not all of them." No, but it makes no difference because you set the tone already. Ain't no black folks getting behind no Klan shit, no Nazi shit. Unless there's something wrong with that black person. It's not happening. And so they base themselves on the foot. I think it just shows you, once again, that narcissistic idea that I don't owe anybody anything. I'm a white male. Society was built for me. And that you black people are lucky we let you live here. Even if it's black folks that work hard. They bust their asses. It doesn't matter. You black people should be thankful we even let you live here. We let you survive. That's the mindset of the rednecks. When if you look at their bank account, they're probably not doing that much better than the blacks. The only difference is they got family behind them. Well, a lot of black folks don't have that. We don't have families. We don't. And the families we do have, and we ain't getting nothing from them. We ain't falling back. Oh, I need 10,000. Ain't no black folks doing that. They might be able to sleep on the couch for a couple of days, if that. Get yourself a job. I just feel as though it's narcissism. I've been working about the whole crisis, and I remember thinking, I sometimes have these conversations with myself. What if I was talking to one of them? I've worked throughout this whole crisis, and the discussion I've had has been, they could say, oh, look, it's not that bad because I'm working. But that's bullshit. Because if I'm working and I'm paying my bills, it's tough. And I'm paying my bills, why can't you, white man? Why can't you get a little temp job or get something on the side to keep moving? No. You got to buck up and go down there and block traffic, which they're doing in Charlotte. Or you got to block hospitals. You got to go up there with your assault rifle and freak a bunch of people out. I want to tell you how stupid these rednecks really are. I watched the video. This is in Raleigh. White boys out there with the guns. White man come up there and said, why y'all doing this? And the first thing was, What part of shall not be infringed did you understand? Well, the part I don't understand is where coronavirus threatens your right to bear arms. But it's not about coronavirus. You're just trying to prove a political statement. You don't care who you scare. You don't care who you freak out. You don't belong in civilization, people like you. You don't. You don't belong in civilization. You belong in a cave somewhere. 1,000 miles of civilization. I mean, these people are dangerous. And I think the coronavirus showed us that these white people, in essence, are saying, if we can't get what we want, we'll kill. I don't look at this just Tea Party empty protests. I watched them going into Subway with rocket launchers, and one of them had a 50 caliber machine gun. This is not protest. This is people who want to show you they're ready for a war. This is about Trump. This is agitprop bullshit. Nothing more, nothing less. This is all about political pandering and making a statement. This is not a protest. And it shows you that you're dealing with some very dangerous people out here. Very dangerous. And they don't care who they hurt, and they don't care what institutions they damage. Because, check this out. When they go in those places, see, it's something else about a black man. When you're a black man, you learn about other people around you. Even if you don't care, a black person learns about what they do affects others. You do. And as a black person, you learn that society's not fair, but you got to deal with it because black folks ain't got no power in this country. Your grandfather had to put up with some things. Your father had to put up some things. Your kids have to put up with certain things. And that's all there is to it. And I think that white people have never had that. White folks have never had to, go sit down in the corner and shut up. Like, white folks have never had somebody come up to them and say, your music's too loud. Black folks had it all the time. There was a brother in Florida got killed. Play music too loud, and dude come back, shot the door and killed him. Didn't even call the police. He went to his hotel room and got a pizza. Okay? That's white lives versus black lives. And that's that whole, going back to what Obama said, I'm going full circle here. That's that narcissism of the Caucasian. I'm superior. I don't care how my actions affect blacks. I don't care how my things affect other people. And here's what's crazy about it. If Biden gets elected, or a Democrat, I don't care, you pick it. Democrat gets elected. And we get a second wave at the end of summer or fall, whenever, you pick it. They're gonna have to declare martial law. The very thing the rednecks were protesting against, they're going to get it. Because we're not going to be able, see, look, I respect civil liberties. I respect people's right to protest. I do. And I respect your right to free speech. What I do not respect is carrying guns into the State House with an intent to influence or intimidate public officials. What I do not support is spitting at police officers in their face when they're trying to enforce quarantine or social. What I do not respect is people who are blocking ambulances and blocking hospital entrances. That I have not a toleration for. And if you get a Democrat that's got any brain cells, they're gonna have to do that. They're gonna have to declare martial law. They're gonna have to do something. And the very same thing the rednecks were crying about, they're going to get. These rednecks really are their own worst enemy. They're their own worst enemy. I think it's hilarious. You're your own worst enemy. You created this situation, and now you're going to get it. And see, the thing is, this is what's sweet. Even if the crisis isn't that bad, You're having it at the same time of the flu season. To get the drugs out, to get the equipment out, to get the gear out, the PPE out to the hospitals, you're going to need help, which would probably necessitate some sort of transportation, use of National Guard, whatever. So they're going to be involved already. But the fact that nationwide these crackers are showing you, we will not cooperate. We're going to go out here with our guns. We're going to go out here and threaten people. That's going to necessitate some sort of a federal troops. It's going to necessitate it. I don't know what that's going to look like. It's you know, it's not really important, but it's going to necessitate some sort of an implied force, implied threat that if you attempt to, and if you try to block convoys of military, then you're stupid. Yeah. If that's what they're talking about is, doing that. This also proves something though. It proves that white supremacy hurts whites just as much as it hurts us. Why? White folks owns hospitals. White folks owns ambulances. White doctors, white nurses. So while you're doing all that, and we're at war, guys. And as much as I didn't agree with Obama on a lot of stuff, I agree with his statements. I've been thinking about it all week. I've been working. And every time I want to do it, I'm in the truck rattling. I couldn't do the video properly. But this is how I feel. Honestly, if you had some sort of a legitimate president in there right now, he would have declared some sort of martial law. He would have declared some sort of exigent emergency. And I'm not just, everything Trump did was, a day late and a dollar short. Everything he did. Conservatives are like, well, he didn't know and all. Yeah, I don't want to hear that bullshit. It's lies and bullshit. And it's to the point to where you have to be a Trump supporter to even believe this shit. No, the fuck out of here. Trump's an idiot. If you follow him, you are too. He's a fucking idiot. Weakened the country. He weakened the country. He weakened all of our protections. And we're going to get hit in the winter, man. We're going to get hit in the fall. Something's coming. It may be worse, maybe lesser. But if a Democrat is in office, they're going to have to declare some sort of exigent emergency because these rednecks are not going to cooperate. And it just also shows you about how the world does things. That these rednecks, they're living in the past in every way. God, they're just cave people. They don't belong here. They belong in the past. And you gotta leave the South to see what I'm talking about. How white people here, they have that mindset of whatever's going on with black people, they gotta get involved. That it's their business to follow black people and turn your music down. That's white people in the South. They've got that mindset about them. And that's what leads to shootings. Is that mindset? I'm a Caucasian. This is my society. I don't have to respect anybody or anything. This is my country. This is my government. This is all mine. And that anybody that disagrees with me and do what I want, I can kill them. I want y'all to understand something. And black folks have to understand this too. We got to get beyond the point with these shootings of, well, maybe the white guy was right. We got to get to the point where we realize and we say, hey, the black folks might have been wrong, but it was not the white man's business to go out there and threaten or enforce anything. We got to get to that point. And I don't know when that's coming. I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know, maybe it'll be 100 years from now. But black people got to get to that point where it's like, look, no, you can't do this. You can't hunt black men and You're not going to get away with it. Peace.